I'm Vanessa from News 8, and we have some really special guests with us this afternoon. This is Melissa and Derek. They are from Soter Technologies on Long Island. They have really created a really awesome product for schools to use. This is called the FlySense. It is a sensor that detects vaping in school environments, as well as colleges, as well as a bunch of other use cases here. So Melissa and Derek, can you give us an overview of what the product is, how it came into fruition, what the use cases are?
Sure. So recently, we all know that vaping has become an epidemic among teens, among young adults, and the schools are having a huge problem with it. Teachers need to focus on educating the students, the quality of academic and things like that. And now it's really putting a large effect on teachers and administrators because constantly they're running into the bathroom to see if students are vaping when they should be focusing on other things. So with FlySense, we are monitoring the air quality in the restroom, and that allows us to know when students are vaping, and once there's an incident of vaping, teachers and administrators can receive an alert to their phone through text message or email, which allows them to then respond to the bathroom.
Okay, so it is a one-of-a-kind product. It's kind of like a carbon monoxide detector or smoke detector. How does it know the difference between cigarette smoke or a vape or smoke in the air?
So we've created what we call signatures. And so in these signatures, we define what we see in the air. So we went through some studies and said, okay, this is when we see this type of aerosol, this in the air. And we created what we call a vaping signature. And creating this vaping signature, also a smoking signature. When we identify these signatures, we then will send a text message or email message, as Melissa described.
Okay, so it doesn't really matter the flavor of the vape or the scent or whether it has THC, which is known for marijuana, in it. Can it detect that yet or no?
That's a good question. So we don't detect the chemical composition of the vape or the smoke in the air. What we do detect is that the vape is present. Future releases will allow us to do chemical detection, THC versus nicotine.
Okay, great. So this is probably installed in bathrooms, you would say, at middle schools, high schools, colleges. So it's just installed up in the air.
Right into the ceiling.
Right into the ceiling. So does it light up? Does it make a noise when it goes off?
Actually, when there is an incident of vaping, it will not set off a sound. It will just send the email or text message to the administrators at the school so that they can respond. It will not, like a fire alarm, it will not make a noise, it will not do anything like that. It'll just let the administrators know.
Think of it as that silent alert going out.
Yep.
And the school administrator can go say, surprise, and that's
Yep.
what happens at that point.
So they get an alert on their phone. Do they get an email? Do they get a text message? How does it work?
Good, Melissa.
They will receive an email and or a text message. What actually we've created is a scheduling system. So if one administrator is closest to the female bathroom on the second floor, they can receive alerts in the morning. If someone else is near that restroom later in the day, then with the scheduling system, someone else can receive the alerts just to make sure it's as efficient as possible.
Okay, so how many users or administrators can get that alert at one time? Is it just one per?
It's unlimited right now.
Unlimited.
Okay.
So there's as many as they want. Whoever wants to share in the wealth of knowledge can get the alerts.
Great.
And so what we ask that, you can also, I won't say drive yourself crazy, but if you have 12 devices in a school, so you have to be careful. Do you want to get an alert from all 12 devices?
Yeah.
And have your phone ring all day long. So you may schedule, only give me the alerts from these 2 devices, or you can go to the back end portal and look at all the alert history. If you say you're the principal or superintendent, you want to see the trend going downwards.
Okay, so if a school has multiple FlySense devices, how many do they need per square foot? Is it like I might need 2 for 1,000 square foot room, or does it have a limit for the detection?
Sure, so that's a great question in regards to the limit. So in our labs, what we spec the device we test is a 10 by 10 area. I have some schools that have a larger than 10 by 10 area, and they get great results.
Okay.
Just again, how is air moving at location?
Great, yeah, and we were saying, if you're just joining us, this is FlySense. It is a little kind of alarm that is installed on the ceiling of school bathrooms, of different areas within schools for right now to prevent vaping because it is such an epidemic. And there are school systems in Connecticut that are using it. Do you know how many schools are using FlySense in the state?
So So we are currently in 11 schools in Connecticut and in 97 schools across the tri-state area.
Typically, a school, when they start the first 2 weeks is like fishing in a stock lake. They're just catching kids right away, and they're rushing in the bathroom, and it's like, oh, we got you.
Yeah.
Then once this message gets out to the student population, it then becomes what we call deterrence factor. And the kids are now deterred from going into the bathroom because they know the devices are there, and they're not going to vape anymore.
Yeah, so
So-
how much does one of these products go for?
So one device, they are $995 per device, and then there is a one-time software activation fee of $495. So that's per school.
Per device, per school. So
Per
the
school.
the $495 is per school.
Per school.
Okay. I mean, that seems like a great investment for a school that's really trying to curb this. I know it is such a big epidemic here in Connecticut as well. Does it has to hook up to the internet, I'm assuming, with this little connection here?
Yes. So that is the Power over Ethernet Plus.
So the way it works, so that's the network jack that the device is going to get connected to. The device gets connected to your school's network, and then we need that for two reasons. One, for power, and then secondary for communications. And so that's all we need. So if somebody can pull the network cable,
Yep.
we can take care of the rest from our office.
Okay, great.
That's
So
all
it's
has to
not
happen.
not totally reliant on just that one
No,
thing.
not at all.
Perfect. That's great.
Another thing that we also have our Soter Technologies grant program, because there are so many schools across the country that are dealing with this, and they just really don't have the funding in order to install the devices. So we have our grant program in order to give funding to these schools so that they can install the devices.
That's really nice. That's a great addition. How does someone go about doing that? Do they just visit your website to apply for that type of grant?
Yes, so the grant application is right on our website. We accept applications on a rolling basis, but then there are times of the year that we are reviewing applications. So the deadline for our recent review was January 31st. So the beginning of the month, our team was actually reviewing applications and going through them, and it just felt so great for us to be
Sure.
able to give this solution to schools that otherwise maybe wouldn't have the opportunity.
That's such a great initiative. Well, thank you, Melissa and Derek, for sharing
you.
this great product, and hopefully it does improve the quality of education systems here in Connecticut and even beyond, and helping really nip this health epidemic that is happening with kids. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.